Right, so I'm taking my watch off. About 2:30. Um, yeah, I was saying earlier on the video that the pawn shops in Swindon are like fronts. Well, the thing is, if you don't wake up, right, and start realizing that all businesses, especially in Swindon, are foreign owned, right? That's up and down Commercial Road. It used to be all recruitment agencies. I don't know where they went, but the recruitment agencies, it was all, just like normal English businesses, but now it's all foreign hairdressers, foreign butchers, foreign barbers. Uh, Even the post office is run by Indians now, on Commercial Road, and it seems to be very popular with people from like places like Africa and that sending parcels home. Because when I went in there, it was like literally just wall to wall African people. Um, uh, the place is run by an Indian family. So yeah, you're very hard pushed to find a normal British English business run business in Commercial Road. Uh, um, the all the shops are now run by ethnic origin people, um, uh, different ethnic origins. The banks, the only bank that I've found that is not run by um, uh, sort of different ethnic origin groups, um, is Lloyd's, because they all seem to be just white women. Really, there's a couple of black women in there. I think there's an Indian woman in there, but they are just mainly just white women. So you don't get that in that West either. I don't think. Metro, and then you got up top of town, so Nationwide. That's predominantly white people in there. What's the one across the road? Santander. I don't really go in there, so I can't really say. But um, uh, the pound shops are all run with Indian workers or sort of Polish type workers. Not, I don't mean, I think the manager might be English because I was talking to him. I think he's a manager. I assume he's a manager. He seemed like he was a manager, just working the tills one day. And I was chatting to him, and he said, "Oh, do you want a receipt?" And I said, "No, it's not my money. It's a missus." And he's just laughed. But I didn't really have a missus at the time, but I thought it was a funny thing to say. So yeah, we need to start fighting back for control. That's not a racist thing. That's a control thing. That we are losing control of our society, because we've got no businesses in the town centre that you could call family businesses or predominantly white British people, or just British people of any colour. Um, uh, the dry cleaners, another Indian chap runs that. He seemed all right, but doesn't do hats. So, you know, was chatting to him, and he's saying he might try one and see if he can make a process out of it and not ruin the hat, and make some money from it. So I've given him an idea for the future, or for myself if I ever have the money, to start a business cleaning hats, because it's a niche market. But yeah, the town centre. I see. What annoyed me about this whole tablet thing today was the shop opposite, where I've sold phones before, wouldn't have had a problem with that, because they probably would have just sent it back to an Eastern country anyway. And they've done me, all right in the past. They do rip you off, but that's to be expected. I mean, I tried to get a loan earlier today, and they charged me 15p to sign up. And I've done this and realised that I've done this before, right? When I realised I read the small print, right? What happens is they charge you to start up an application. And then they say, you process the application. Yep, that's all good. Now we need your bank details. So you give them the bank details, and then what do? They take 15p out to take a transaction to prove you're 18 and you've got a bank account. And I was like, okay, so they did that. Luckily, I had £1.51 in the account. So I went through the whole process. They said, yep, you've been accepted, and all that. And then it went back on itself and said, oh yeah, you've got to apply again. So I'm waiting to find out tomorrow if I passed it or not. But the point is, they're charging you for the privilege of looking on a search engine for a loan. On a payday loan, £2,000, you're looking at £260 a month. Let's say 18 months, 24 months. It works out on a payday loan of about £6,000 you pay back. So you're paying back £4,000 on top of the £2,000 you wanted to borrow, right? So those companies are out the window. I'm not dealing with them, right? They are jackals gnawing at the dead carcass of society. Same with porn stars, pawn shops. Same with all the front businesses. If they're not a legitimate organisation, then you can almost guarantee that it's a front for something criminal in Swindon, because they employ people, but they don't have customers. They pay high rent on those properties on Commercial Road. They are disgustingly high rented properties. So the leasehold on them is thousands, and I know people that are in the business of being a barber. I know a barber, well-known barber, and he wouldn't make that money to be driving a Lamborghini. So how the hell do they make it, right? They generally just use it as a hangout. I've been in one place on Manchester Road years ago, next to the kebab shop, up the top of the road. I don't know if it's still there, but it used to be. And they used to do Turkish pizzas, so we used to go there quite a lot. But yeah, the house next door, the room next door to the shop, is just a room with a table and chairs, right? And it's just got gangster type, Albanian types sat around the table drinking shots of vodka or whatever, and playing cards and dominoes and things like that, right? And they're just generally looking after the shop, but they're not in the shop. They're in another part of the same building, or they're in the room in the building next door. But the door's open and you can see them as you walk past, and you realise that they're protection for the criminal fucking activity that they're getting on with. Now I don't see that as grassing up, because I'm not telling the police, I'm telling the world, but I'm not telling you anything you don't already know, right? Town has gone downhill. The shops are not run by English people, so we're being inundated with foreign business owners who think they can dominate the town, and because they've got businesses, other people of their background think that they are some kind of ruling force, that they can act and talk to people the way that they want and stuff. But yeah, I've seen it all with my own eyes. I've watched it all for 30 years change, like everybody. The difference is I'm aware of the criminal side of it. I'm aware that these people aren't fucking legitimate business people because, like I say, you can't buy a $100,000 car from cutting hair. You'd have to be doing something serious to make that sort of money. So, whatever it is, whatever supercar is parked outside, it could be somebody for the barbers getting their hair cut, but I don't think it was. I think it was the owner. But I'm not sure. I could be mistaken. Yeah, it has happened before. But from the point of view of spending money in town, there's nothing to spend money on. There's no shops with decent clothes. I like Jordan, as you know, wearing it, but they don't sell it in town. You can't buy it. You can buy one or two fucking items, and they're usually tracksuits. So yeah, I don't have any reason to go into town. When I buy trainers, I know what size I want, so it's easy enough just to buy a pair of trainers. You don't have to go and try them on anymore. If you're getting the right size. In the old days, I used to go for the size without the half size, and I always wondered why my foot felt a bit tight, and it didn't feel comfortable. And I worked out it's because my feet are a half size. One foot is half size bigger than the other, so I have to get half sizes to fit both feet. Because unfortunately, they don't sell shoes where you can buy a half size and a normal size for the other foot, right? Because that'd be the ideal situation, the ideal world. Like a like a one-legged shoe salesman. He just happens to have single shoes for people with one leg, and you can mix match. Now that would be an ideal world, a haberdashery or something where you could buy Nike trainers but different sizes for different things. Because when you buy a tracksuit, you can buy top in large and trousers in medium or whatever. You don't have to buy a large. You buy what fits. And then I discovered that why all these clothes are baggy, and I get the bigger sizes anyway, but why they're baggy is because they're American sizes. It never occurred to me that Americans are usually obese and that, but the sizes are going to be different. So after realising that, I've now got to reorder clothes. I burnt a hole in my brand new trousers today, which topped off the day. So I've got to replace those. I've got to buy some more trousers, yeah, unfortunately, I can't do it in town. I literally cannot do anything in town without security hassling me for having a shit. snobby little fuckers trying to stop me from making money. What annoyed me most was I promised that money to somebody, but I promised them that it was without fail was going to be there, because I thought I had a receipt. They were testing it. It's fine. But the guy took a disliking to me. He took a disliking to me from the start. He didn't like the fact that I had two IDs, one with my old name, one with my new. I had a bank card with my old name on. Mistakenly handed it over, not realizing it had my old name on. And then when I signed the receipt, I signed with my old signature because I wasn't thinking. So, all those reasons why they wouldn't fucking serve me today and give me the money I wanted. So I've now got nothing for days till about Friday. Yeah, so hopefully tomorrow or today will be a better day, but I can almost guarantee I'm going to fucking jail, so I just have to deal with that as it comes. I can't do much about it. It was a mistake. I didn't mean to damage anything. I wouldn't have hurt anybody, but the only person that I was going to hurt was the Samaritan, the Good Samaritan who touched me on the arm. When I felt him, I felt anger, I felt rage. When I felt him touch my arm, I felt rage about it, and I nearly went for him because I thought to myself, how fucking dare you? How fucking dare you step into this argument and then try and tell me that you didn't touch me and you're just a liar. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're white, right? You're just a lying, cheating, stealing charlatan, right? Right? You caused a problem today, right? And I'll see you again in this town because this town is my town, right? I spend just as much time there as anybody else, and I will see you, and I will fucking see you again, and I will make sure that you don't ever, ever interfere with somebody else's business again, right? Because the way I speak to you, you will fucking shit yourself, son. You will shit yourself because you'll think I'm about to kill you. The way that I raise my voice at you, if I see you again, yeah, if I remember you. Yep, I don't do anything to deserve any of this shit.